Hey everyone, just wanted to do a little video tonight, just talk about some things that have happened. Sitting outside and it's a beautiful night here in Vegas. There's a beautiful breeze and it's probably about 75 degrees and it's just a really gorgeous night just to sit outside here. My animals running around. But I have some bad news. Unfortunately, I got into a car accident a few days ago. It wasn't my fault, but I was turning left into a parking lot, and there was somebody driving at a very high speed in the bus lane. I didn't see them, and they hit me, and my car actually flipped over. I was rushed to the emergency room. I am okay. I definitely am feeling pretty beat up, really sore. Obviously, this is exacerbating all the issues that I already suffer from. And it's kind of put us in a really bad situation now. We don't have a car. I didn't have a car rental option on my insurance. When we had signed up for our insurance, because the down payment was high, I opted not to add several things. And this weekend, because it was 4th of July, I had planned to drive the whole weekend from Wednesday to Sunday, and I knew that I would probably make really, really good money, and then that when I got my pay for that, I was going to upgrade our insurance and do, as well as other things. My husband needed contacts, but there were several things that we had on our list that we were going to do. Anyway, never got to do it. The timing could not have been any worse. My husband now can't get to work because, we live way out here. There's no buses that come this far. And his job was on the other side of Las Vegas. And so, he couldn't ride his bike there. It's like 20 miles from here. It's just, anyway, it's put us in a really bad position. We're not really sure what we're going to do. Obviously, my husband's going to have to find a job closer. I can't drive for Lyft anymore, not for a while. And I think I might try to find some kind of work from home gig. I know there's a lot out there that you could do. But anyway, it's just really discouraging, really, really bad circumstances, and just a really bad situation that we're dealing with right now. And the thing that's so discouraging about it is that we were finally in a position where we were getting back on our feet. We were finally making enough money to pay bills and even start saving. And this weekend was going to be a big weekend. It was definitely going to be a weekend that I was going to be able to bring in a lot of money, which would have helped us to catch up on a lot of things. And I just don't understand why it had to happen like this. I know a lot of people say that all the time, like, why did this have to happen? Why now? Whatever. But it seems like whenever we're trying to get back on our feet, something happens that throws us off, and we have to pick ourselves back up again. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what has happened in the past few months. I know I'm not very open about things that happen in our personal life. And obviously, a lot of things are personal. They should be kept personal, not put on the internet. But back in January, we were evicted from our apartment. And the state of Nevada has an extremely fast eviction process. Our rent was 3 weeks late. The manager at our apartment complex was just a bitch and was not willing to work with us to help us so that we could pay the rent, even though it was going to be late. And I did not realize the state of Nevada had such a fast eviction process with very little rights for tenants. It's very different than California out here. And a lot of it's definitely my fault for being ignorant of what the laws were. When we got our notice that the rent was late, I didn't realize that that notice that with that notice that there was really nothing you could do. Um, I did communicate with them. I said, we're going to have the rent. It's going to be a few weeks late, but we are going to pay it. And the day that the sheriff knocked on our door to kick us out, we actually had the rent money, late fees, and everything on the kitchen counter. And we were going to go pay it that day. And what's ironic is that we had a check, that a money order that we needed to cash. It was a post office money order. And we had gone the day before to cash the money order, and the post office systems were down and they couldn't cash it. So we had to do it the next day. Had their systems not been down, we would have paid rent the day before and would not have been evicted. And I just don't understand. I don't understand it. How things will often happen to us in such a way where it's out of nowhere. And, and you can't think about what could we have done better or different. Like, we really feel that we really have tried to do things the right way. We've really tried to be creative, proactive, whatever, in order to make money, pay bills, whatever, trying to communicate with people, trying to, but I don't know. Sometimes it just feels like no matter what, everything is just against you. And you don't understand it. So I'm definitely feeling better emotionally and physically than I was a few days ago. I was a mess a couple days after the accident, obviously, because I was freaking out, because we still don't know what we're going to do, how we're going to pay our bills, how are we going to pay rent here, how are we going to, if we get jobs, go to work. I mean, how is that all going to happen? But I don't know. It makes me think about a lot of the recent things that have happened with people like Amberlyn, Chantel and Life by Jen, and just how infuriating it is to see people like them that are so lazy, that are liars, that make zero effort to improve their situation, to improve their health. Someone like Jen, who lives off a disability and is in a wheelchair, even though she's not disabled, and how she can gain 70 pounds in 3 months and lie to her subscribers, and how people can still support her after that and make comments like, oh, but it's hard. We need to give her a chance. It's hard to lose weight. It's hard what she's going through. And it just boggles my mind. I don't understand it, because what's hard is a lot of the things that we've had to endure the past few months. It's hard having disabilities, chronic pain, chronic illnesses that make it incredibly difficult to work, to make the effort to take care of myself. It's hard to push through a lot of pain because I have to go to work and I don't have a choice. It's hard for me to make a decision to be disciplined and sacrifice so that I can take care of my body, so that my conditions don't get worse, and so that I can control them as best as I can. It's hard for my husband when we didn't have a car a couple years ago and he had to ride his bike to work and then go and work outside in 110-degree weather, digging trenches and planting trees and, doing very physical labor. That's hard. Sitting on your fat butt in a wheelchair, living off of disability, a disability that you created yourself, is not hard. It's not hard. It is challenging to lose weight, sure it is, but I just don't understand how we've gotten to a point now where we are giving ass pats to people that exploit their obesity on YouTube to make money, lie to their audience, contribute to their disability, doing things to make it worse, and basically just laugh in our face, when we try to help them understand that what they're doing is so self-destructive. And when we call them out on their lies, and it's just it's really just mind-boggling, and it's disgusting to me, that we're in a time right now that we are supporting people like that, that there are people encouraging people like that, that there are people that are fans of people like that. I just don't understand it. People sending money to people like that. I mean, for God's sakes, there are so many people that could use money, that could use donations more than somebody who is on disability and refuses to do anything to improve their situation, and is lying and gained 70 pounds in 3 months. I mean, that's a lot of weight. That is a tremendous amount of weight, especially for someone who's already 500 pounds. And then to claim losing 2 or 3 pounds in a week as a victory. And that is just ridiculous. I weigh 118 pounds. And I lost a pound this morning. It's not weight that I'm losing. It could be water weight. It could be, it could, it could be anything. But I'll probably weigh 118, maybe even 119 tomorrow. Who knows? Everybody fluctuates between 1 and 3 pounds. Everybody does. Even me, at the weight that I am. I fluctuate between 1 and 3 pounds all the time throughout the day. For someone who is 600 pounds to claim a 3-pound loss as a victory is absolutely ridiculous, and it's laughable. And I also want to talk about Amberlyn and just her comments to Zachary Michael about him being an ableist, because he made fun of her because she was walking to a tree, which actually he wasn't making fun of her because she was walking to a tree. He was saying that it was good. He was encouraged. She was walking to a tree. But you know what? It is shameful. It is shameful to be 28 years old, to have abused and destroyed your body so much that all you can do is walk to a tree that's like 50 feet away. That is shameful. If you have allowed yourself to get to that point and you're doing nothing to improve your situation, and you're continuing the destructive behavior that is contributing to your situation, yes, that is shameful. If I have a client that is morbidly obese, they've made horrible choices throughout their life with their health, obviously. And in the beginning, they're very limited in what they can do and what in their activity levels. I don't tell them, oh, you should be embarrassed, you should be ashamed, that's pathetic. Obviously, I'm not going to tell them that. If they can only walk on the treadmill at a very slow speed, for 5 minutes. I will encourage them, and I will tell them, don't be discouraged. It is a start, but I will help them understand. Yes, I know you're discouraged, but let this be a wake-up call. Let this encourage and inspire you to make the drastic changes you need to make. Because being able to walk only 5 minutes on a treadmill at a very low speed is not good. It's not good. But that's where we're starting, and that's okay. But let it remind you of the damage that you've done. Not so you can feel pathetic or like a loser or what have you, but so it can motivate you. Because you should have an amount of shame when you have destroyed your body to that point where you can only walk to a tree and back. There should be a certain amount of shame that you feel. But that shame is what should motivate you to make the changes that you need to make to have the discipline and make the sacrifices so that you can improve your health, so that you can get stronger, so you can improve your stamina and your endurance. That's what that shame should do. And it is embarrassing that she can only walk 50 feet to a tree and back. It is embarrassing. And that is something that should be a major wake-up call for her, and it's not. And for her to put herself, and Chantel, to try to put themselves, and even Life by Jen, to put themselves in a category of people that have true disabilities, that they were born with, that they developed as, you know, they got older at no fault of their own, that they might have because of an accident, you know, a car accident or at work or what have you. There are people out there that have true disabilities, that live in chronic pain that is unbearable at times. I know, I've worked with these people. I'm one of these people. Thank God my disability isn't so severe that I'm almost immobile, that my pain isn't so severe that I cannot be active, because I have worked with people like that. I had a client that was an MS patient, or a MS client, and she had been in a severe car accident when she was 19, and she had a rod in her arm, she had a metal rod down her leg, she had very limited mobility. And towards the end of my time training with her, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. This woman lived in a lot of pain every single day, but she was committed to her workouts. She came in twice a week religiously, no matter what. Even when she was going through radiation treatment, she would come from her radiation treatment to her training sessions. And that to me is just amazing and so inspiring. You know, to see someone like that, not even letting cancer be an excuse for them to not take care of their body, on top of the other pain that they still suffer from every single day. I had another client who had MS, who was in a wheelchair when I first met him. He was a former Marine. He was I think he was like a 5th degree black belt. I forget what area of martial arts, but he was at one point an incredibly active person. He was a farmer, and this was when I was living in Ohio. And when he first came and saw me in our first consultation, he broke down into tears because of how disabled he had become, and just the pain that he lives with now every day. He had herniated discs in the lower part of his back as well, so he suffered from constant pain, you know, in his lower back. And we worked together for like 6 or 7 months. We worked together. We would have worked together longer, but I actually ended up moving back to California during that time. But this man pushed himself so hard and made such an incredible effort to get better. He pushed through so much incredible pain in his workouts to get stronger. He was so committed to training his body and getting his body even a fraction back to where it used to be. Over 7 months' time, he got out of the wheelchair. When we first started training, he could barely step up on a 3-inch step. He could barely step up onto that. By the time we were done, he was squatting like 150 pounds, which for him was a lot, you know, a freestyle squat. He had lost a lot of weight, and he had become incredibly strong, incredibly agile, and he just made tremendous progress. And I remember one day when he came into one of his sessions, and he was so excited. He said, "Charlene, you know, for the first time since I got sick, since I got hurt, I was able to bale hay." And that was a big deal for him because he had horses, and he was finally able to bale hay. And one of his goals was his son was in the armed service. I can't remember. what division he was in. I want to say the Army, but I can't remember. Anyway, he was serving time um, in Afghanistan at that time. And his goal was to be able to walk up to his son at the airport when his son came home. And he was able to achieve that goal. And I could go on and on with so many people that have made tremendous progress because they were so determined and did not let their disabilities, their pain, their life situations be a reason for them to be lazy, to be a victim, and to give in, and to let themselves, get to a point where they were so unhealthy, where they were so immobile, that they couldn't even function anymore. And that's why I just get so infuriated by people like Amber, like Chantel, like Life by Jen, because I have worked with people that live with a lot more pain, a lot of disabilities that are a lot worse than what they deal with. And I get very indignant, about people like Life by Jen and Amber. I get very indignant about it, because even with the pain that I push through and the sacrifice and the discipline that I make, so that I can take care of my body and not give into the pain. Even with as much pain as I have to deal with every day, there are people out there that live with pain that is 10 times worse, 10 times more debilitating than what I have. And they still make an effort to be productive in life. They still make an effort to contribute in some way. I had a client that had severe case of rheumatoid arthritis, and she couldn't work. She lived with a lot of pain. And once a week, she would go volunteer at an animal shelter, and help take care of the dogs, what have you. And, it's just, like I said, I've just worked with and have met and have known so many people that have been through so many incredible challenges in life. And that's why I feel that it's just absolutely insane, that somebody would give any amount of support to any of these morbidly obese women that make zero effort to improve their situation. I just don't understand it. And for those of you that do support Life by Jen, Chantel, Amberlyn, you are indirectly contributing to their early death. I haven't been following Life by Jen lately. I don't know what she's up to. I just, I stopped watching her videos, because I did support her in the beginning. I provided a lot of support and encouragement for her in the beginning because I really felt she was different. I really thought her mindset, the way that her perspective, on her health and where she was at was very different than Chantel and Amberlyn. Now I think she's even worse than they are. Because she tries so hard to put on this mousy, sweet little persona. At least Amber and Chantel are outright about their shitty personality. At least they're upfront about it. I give them that much. At least when they do their mukbangs and stuff, at least they're honest about it. Hey, this is what I'm eating. I'll give them that much, and neither Chantel or Amberlyn have ever gained not even remotely close to 70 pounds in 3 months. And neither of them are on disability either. So, and neither of them are in wheelchairs. So, I give them that much, but it really is just, it's really sad and kind of devastating just to see, that there are people out there that get support and even get sent money by people because they feel sorry for them, because they want to support them, or, there are so many different causes that you can donate your money to, as opposed to a lazy, lying, morbidly obese woman that is exploiting her obesity to make money on YouTube. Donate your money to somebody else. Donate your money to something else. Donate your money to an animal shelter. Donate your money to Wounded Warriors program. You know, donate your money to something, somebody that truly does suffer out of no fault of their own, or even if it is their own fault, but they're truly making a sincere effort to improve their situation. You know, because there are plenty of people that have allowed themselves to get to an extreme level of obesity, you know, to become morbidly obese. There are plenty of people that have made those horrible choices, but they did finally make a decision to improve their situation so that they can get better, so that they can enjoy their life, so they can stop being so dependent on other people or the government or what have you. I mean, you see it on my 600-pound life all the time. You support those people. You know, give your money, give your support, give your encouragement to people that deserve it, to people that really are trying to make a positive change, whether it's in their own life or somebody else's life or both. You know, give your time, your money, and your support to somebody like that. Don't give it to Life by Jen. Don't give it to Amber. Don't give it to Chantel. They don't deserve it. And all they're going to do is use that money to continue to indulge in their addiction. That's all they're going to do with it. You know, but I don't know. So anyway, guys, I'll keep you updated with our situation. I have contacted an attorney. That's all I'm going to say about that for now. But, you know, again, I am just left baffled and confused about why this happened when we were finally getting our feet back on the ground. I just don't understand it. You know, but we'll figure it out. You know, we have to, you know, we have to figure something out. But anyway, guys, that was my rant. And, you know, I just wanted to, I guess, again, just give my insight on how I feel about the recent happenings with our girls. And, you know, how I feel about it. So I do, now that I'm not going to be driving for Lyft, I really do want to go back to videos that are a lot more helpful for people. I felt kind of discouraged and uninspired to do that for a while, just again because they weren't getting a lot of views. And I had a Facebook group that had gotten really big, but I just hadn't had the time or the energy to invest in it. And I don't know. I wanted the Facebook group so that I could really promote my channel and health and, you know, healthy lifestyle to help people with chronic illness. And whenever I would put up posts, you know, that related to anything like that, they just didn't get a lot of attention. If I would put a funny post, or I would put like a post that's like a game or whatever, it would get all kinds of a response, all kinds of engagement. And I just kind of lost my motivation for my Facebook group because, you know, I really wanted it to be more focused on health and improving your health, really trying to build and promote my channel, you know, and I don't know, I might go back to managing it like I was, but I don't know. But I really do want to go back to doing the videos that were more helpful to people. You know, hopefully as my audience starts to get bigger, you know, I will get more people coming to those videos so that they can get better, so that they can improve their situation. You know, like my channel was designed for people like Jen and Amber, Chantel, people that have it's designed for people like them to help them improve their life and get better. But you know, obviously my videos that I do when I talk about Amber, I talk about any of those girls, what have you, they get more views, more attention than the videos I do that are actually designed to help people. And I get it, you know, drama is what people enjoy seeing. I enjoy it, you know. I definitely enjoy the gossip and the drama, because I think because it's a distraction for us from our own lives. It just kind of gives us something else to think about or watch or whatever. It's entertaining, but I really would like to have more traffic to my videos that are designed to help people improve the quality of their lives. So I would like to go back to doing those videos, even though they do take more effort and energy for me. But all right, guys, I hope everyone is doing well, better than me. And remember, take care of yourself, protect yourself physically and emotionally. Don't forget, your health is your most valuable asset. Invest in it. Bye-bye.